financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is the psychology of debt. Jenny Lingl, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. Good to be here today.
And our psychologist of the day, Brian Small.
Psychologist of the day?
Wait, or did I mean to say psycho of the day?
No, more likely to be true, but I checked in the mirror and I don't look like Sigmund Freud at all. So I'm a little worried about my psychological
Toss in a
abilities.
beard, you'd be a spitting image of the guy.
All
Jeffrey
right.
Kirshner, how are you?
I'm good, except that now my anxiety is raising a little bit talking about debt and all.
You know, we can get you some medication to help with that.
Money, medication.
Is it legal?
And our relaxed, happy guy over here, Pat
It's all good,
Samasco,
man.
elder
It's
law
all good.
expert.
I'm just taking it all in. Thanks for having me, guys.
And Jenny, everything is legal apparently in Michigan now.
Under federal law or state law, Brian? That's
Depends.
another day.
That's another show for another day.
Only if you get convicted.
Well, let me give you a background. There's a good article in December of 2017 called The Emotional Effects of Debt, written by Christian Kuchar. And you could find the article at thesimpledollar.com. And it's talking about debt's impact on psychology. It's talking, and it kind of let me throw out a couple quick facts. The average credit card debt of Americans is $15,950. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. What do we call that person? Well, not what we call that person. What does the credit card industry call that person?
Those are the revolvers. They love the revolvers.
Because they keep paying that interest, revolving month to month and carrying the debt. In their little rooms, where the bankers develop all these theories and plots and systems of how to convince people to use credit cards, do you think they call them revolvers or something else?
I'm sure they come up with some other name.
Yeah, just so you have the mentality. But anyway,
They go, that one's my paycheck for next week. That one's my paycheck for the following week.
yeah, that's the reality of where it's at. Average student loan debt of a graduating student, $40,000.
You know,
So
there's
there's a lot of debt out there.
There's a name for them too.
Student loan payers.
Yeah, The Walking Dead.
That's sad.
Now, I'm curious, is that just
Those are the graduates too.
I know.
Is that
It's crazy.
just an undergraduate degree, or does that come?
That was an undergraduate degree.
Okay.
Nowadays,
Graduate
it's
degrees, it goes up
degree. It's
astronomically
ridiculously
higher.
high.
They ever looked to see exactly how much something was paid for on the credit card versus how much was ultimately paid after all the credit card was paid off? Like if you bought the iPad for $500 bucks, but when you at the end of the payoff,
Your best example of that is when you get one of those deferred financing agreements,
And you
like
read it.
Best Buy, and it'll say to you that if you miss the payment at the end, because you've gone the 36 months, and you've made the minimum payments so that you're paying it off at the end of the 36 months. If you miss that payment, all of a sudden you owe another $1,800. So that means
Worse yet is when you look at the credit card statement and you see if you pay only the minimum monthly payment, if you stop using your credit card, and it will take you 39 years to pay it off, and it shows you how much you will pay, and if you pay it over 3 years, how much you will have saved. It's scary, which comes right into the impact of debt.
and the psychology. In fact, even on the psychology of it, don't you, they're required to put that on the statement.
you know what they should do at McDonald's when you go buy the Big Mac, it says how many calories, how many grams of fat. They should put on the Best Buy ad, if you buy this with the credit card, it's actually going to cost you $14,000.
Absolutely.
How many people would actually pay for it?
Absolutely, they should do that, because when they put those disclosures of the 39 years, can you imagine how much money they spend trying to figure out the most innocuous way to have that
Right,
presented on the
right.
statement so that you don't notice it?
Yeah, I'm laughing because you said about the menus. I have changed my eating habits.
From the
since
calories?
Now it is required, if you go to any sort of chain restaurant, federal law mandates that your calorie count must be on the menus. I keep looking, I'm going, oh, I'm not ordering that. I was at the
Good for
cheesecake.
you.
I was at the Cheesecake Factory, and I'm looking at the menu and went, oh my God, it's got 1,800 calories. It's like my favorite
One
meal.
piece of cheesecake?
No, that wasn't even the cheesecake. That was just the dinner. And I went, I'll have a salad. So
Right.
there's psychology comes into a lot of
was that the
things.
cheesecake? What was the 1,800 calorie meal?
I
I hope it wasn't the enchiladas.
it was some sort of pasta.
But that was 2,500
Yeah.
calories.
But I tell you, that they even said that people are changing the way they're ordering food. So at the restaurant, not just me. So if that's happening, think about the psychology of debt and what's happening when you open up your credit card statements and what happens whether there's depression and anxiety is, you were joking when you said your anxiety level was going up at the start of the show, but depression and anxiety is huge when it comes to dealing with money.
In fact, in this article, they were saying Dr. Gathergood of the University of Nottingham, struggling with debt, 2 times more likely to have mental health issues. 29% of the people with high debt report severe anxiety, more likely to report depression. I mean, is that surprising to us?
Oh.
No. I mean, is it surprising to anyone?
Divorce lawyers will tell you that that's one of the biggest reasons for divorces, fighting over money. And it's always the debt, not the amount that you make. It's how much you owe.
And it is how much you owe. But it's also, I find that the cause, you start looking at what's the root cause of people getting into debt, and one of them is failure to communicate in the household. I mean, another is that you want to have things and you need to have things.
And keeping up with the Joneses.
Well,
and the
you know what?
Smiths.
Here's the thing: the Joneses and the Smiths, they're one of the 39% that are carrying credit card debt too. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
You don't know what's going on inside somebody's household when they're under the same amount of stress you are for being in debt. The reality is you've got to find a way to control that debt and get rid of it to relieve you of that.
Which is a
that depression
conversation
and
with your
anxiety.
kids. You got the kids, I want that, and the parents want to give it to them, of course.
Yeah, I just actually heard a report on the radio, and they were talking about the number of people that go into debt for holiday spending, that it takes them at least till June to July to pay off that amount. That's if they pay it off. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's kind of explore all the symptoms that arise from the psychology of debt.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, we're back. So, psychology of debt. Denial, that's a symptom.
Denial's huge.
Well,
Denial is absolutely the biggest problem I face
What
with.
do they mean by denial?
Well, denial being, okay, I'm going to completely ignore that we have a credit card problem, a debt problem.
like burying your head in the sand?
It is. It is
Well,
purely burying your head
I'll
in the
find a
sand.
lot of our clients come in, and in the initial meeting when we start talking about their credit card debt, oh, it's 5, 10, maybe 15,000, and then I
And
say,
it
go
turns
home.
out 15, 20, 25,
30,
30,000.
it's always significantly more than people tell me off the bat.
Well, and that's a lot of times what it is the husband sitting there going, I got $10,000 for the credit card debt, and the wife will go, I have 5, and then turns out that the wife has 35 because she's been trying to pump the household up because the husband hasn't been giving enough money to run the household.
There's
Remember,
also lack of disclosure.
But it actually starts at the beginning. The denial is seeing the amount of debt or not paying attention to the bills in a timely manner, and that's where the problem is from the beginning. If you don't pay it off on a monthly basis, all of a sudden the interest starts creeping up, and all of a sudden it multiplies as time goes on. So that's really where the problem is at the beginning when you ignore the debt.
Yeah. I see multiple forms of denial. One is the person who's making the payments.
Isn't it a river that runs through?
Well,
Right.
on the extreme end of denial, you're ignoring the bills, you're ignoring the problem, you're stuffing the bills in the drawer, you're not making the payments, and you're at the point where it's going to pop and create a problem. But well in
Because
advance
the
of
drawer
that,
can't hold anymore.
yeah, but well in advance of that, you're making the payments, but you're denying the fact that you have a financial problem because you're paying. Let's say you're making good money. You're making $150,000 a year, and you're making $1,500 a month in credit card payments. You make the credit card payments, you pay $1,600 every month. You think you're paying more than the minimum monthly payment, you don't think you have a problem, but the balances on the credit cards never go down, they're actually creeping up because you're in the credit card trap, all your cash is going to make
So
the
that's
payments.
the question then.
But you don't think you got a problem.
So what is that first sign? What is when you're paying, when you're not paying down the debt, you don't pay it off at the end of the month? What's the first sign that people need to realize that they're like alcoholics when they're
If you're living paycheck to paycheck because you're making the minimum monthly payments on the cards, you have a problem.
That's where the
because the
sign.
answer is you're not saving any money. Where are you going to be? It's so easy when you're 35 to say, oh, well, that's no big deal. I'm not going to retire until 65. I got 30 years to solve the problem. You'll never solve it. You'll keep doing the same thing. And if you do that same thing for 10 years, from 35 to 45, 10 years at $1,500 a month, what's 120 times $1,500 plus interest? It's $300,000. That money should be in the
is he
savings
smart?
account.
I know,
Wow,
it's incredible.
You like that
That's why he's
multiplication?
on that side of the table.
But the problem is people really don't realize. To me, that's the denial.
That's the watch out.
That's the denial that the financial industry has created and wants it. They want you to feel good about using that credit card. They have the superstars are all promoting them. Capital One has a slew of stars that promote their cards, people that we like.
What's in your wallet?
And actually, I have a quick story about that. Is that we're talking about credit cards and how they're trying to entice you, giving you points, things of that nature. I literally over this weekend had lunch with a restaurant owner, not at his restaurant, but a restaurant owner, and we talked specifically about this issue, about the fact that he literally has to increase his prices because these credit cards get him on the back end for these double bonus, triple bonus points.
Oh, the restaurant owner
Yes,
has to
so
pay
he said
for it.
actually people
Oh,
are
no
getting
kidding.
charged more for the same hamburger
Really?
because he's having to pay more to the credit card companies.
So he
for
has
these
to pay back to them on
right
the use
so
of those bonus points.
Exactly. So he said it's a fallacy to think that you're getting anything by these credit cards because the cost of your goods are going up so that the restaurants and the stores can pay
except
that.
the person who's not using the points is the one that really gets burned.
Right, and that's the other
Yeah.
thing he said is that the guy that uses the debit card then gets burned
Double.
because he's paying
The
off
higher
everyone else.
price, and he's not getting any of the bonus.
Right.
So here's the question. If he would have bought, you would have had to say his name right now to give him some sponsorship, right?
I cannot,
Well, you know,
I cannot discuss this.
Another thing I see is a lot of the
He doesn't want to lose
stores.
his standing with American Express.
A lot of the stores have their own credit cards, and if you get to the counter and you see they have these sales and these coupons, it's only if you use their store credit card. So they're really pushing the credit cards, assuming that if you're paying it on credit, that you're going to spend more than you would.
Oh,
if you're
the
pulling.
store credit cards, because they all charge, they start off day one at 29% interest. So
The
they're
store
all,
credit cards
yeah,
do?
they're all designed to try and
What
give
is
you that
the-
first discount because
what's
they want
the-
you to be a revolver.
What's the cashier get for selling you that credit card? You know, you always walk
good
up.
point, right.
There's gotta be a
What's the
bonus.
bonus? I know when my brother worked at Highland Appliance, when he sold the warranty, he got like 50% of it.
always
as
the
commission.
warranties. It's like, I always feel bad. I say when it comes to the warranty, I say my religion doesn't allow me to buy a warranty.
Yeah.
And they look at me like I'm out of my mind. I say, "Are you serious?" I said, "No, I'm not serious, but I'm not buying the warranty, so
Right,
let's not have
right,
the discussion."
right.
And I know you make all of your income off of it, so I'm sorry, but I mean, I
Yeah.
don't believe in buying warranties.
I wonder what that is. We have to find
But
out.
you
It's
know,
probably 50%.
The
still.
key here to recognize is no matter which way you are getting yourself into debt, all of these factors, the psychological factors, including denial, the stress, the anxiety, the resentment we talked about between spouses, including, and then the anger, all that stuff comes up. And it's all going to amass itself, and you have to find a way to relieve yourself of the debt.
Alcohol.
Because that is, unfortunately,
Relieve the
that is
stress
not
or relieve
the
the
solution.
debt?
Drugs
Relieve
and
the debt or
alcohol
relieve the-
to
No,
solve the problem.
no. Actually, drugs and alcohol become a factor
An
of the
additional-
problem. There's another way people end up trying to deal with their stress, and if you
I'm
have
not surprised by that. I didn't think that was going to solve the problem.
no, but the fact is that one bad step without
Leads
a
to-
solution
leads
leads
to
to
another.
another bad step.
That's true.
All right,
yeah.
we're going to come up to a break, and let's take in the last segment how we change that pattern, break out of it, so that we get rid of the bad aspects of the psychology of debt by getting rid of the debt.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh,
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers, listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, 93.5, 98.3, and 99.9 FM, Tuesdays at 10 and Saturdays 7 o'clock a.m. On KISS 105.9 a.m., we're on at Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. Also, Law and Reality Here and Now on WMUZ AM 1200, Saturdays 7 a.m. and 2:30 p.m., WMUZ FM, Saturdays at 11 o'clock p.m. Be sure and sign up for our monthly contest. Free $50 Visa gift card, Law and Reality hat, and copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Just go to the website, lawandreality.com, pop in your email address, and you're entered into the contest. We have seminars coming up. Wednesday, February 6, 2019, 6 to 7:30 p.m. What you need to know when it comes to your estate plan and protecting your family. It's absolutely essential that you have an estate plan in place. If you have young children, you need a guardian provision in case both husband and wife go down in the plane, God forbid, or in a car accident, somebody has to be appointed to take care of your children. You do that with a guardian designation in your will. You need powers of attorney to take care of things while you're living. What if you're in the hospital, you can't make decisions for yourself and you can't communicate? If you're elderly and you have to have someone take care of your banking and financial information, you need to have a durable power of attorney. We cover all of those issues. Attendees get a free $300 gold certificate off the cost of an estate plan. To sign up, go to thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Then on Wednesday, February 27th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., this is the seminar that you've now gotten 2 months of credit card bills after the holidays. You've realized you've made a mistake. You've got too much credit card debt. You've got to get rid of it. The name of this seminar is Get Out from the Credit Card Trap and Enjoy Life. We're going to talk about all the steps that we take to eliminate credit card debt. Debt resolution is our solution outside of bankruptcy. Chapter 7, Chapter 13, bankruptcy is also a viable solution. We'll figure out the right solution for you. This seminar lays out all your choices and options that way so you understand the process and you can help figure out what's the smartest play for yourself. But the most important thing to understand is if you're paying $500 to $1,000 a month on credit card debt every month, you'd be much better off paying that money into a savings account. We have the steps that we can take and put in place for you so that you can eliminate that debt so that you don't have to make those payments. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Jenny Lingl is going to do a special segment on how to resolve tax issues. Sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or the old-fashioned way, just call our offices at 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Remember, you can always come in to THAV Gross for a free consultation. If you've got debt issues with Brian, estate planning issues also with Brian, tax issues with Jenny Lingl, business issues with myself, elder law issues with Pat Samasco, disability and workers' comp issues with Jeff Kirshner, criminal law issues with Corey Silverstein. Just all you have to do is go to the website, fill out the request for a free consult, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. Just call our offices at 888-235-HELP, and we'll schedule you for a free consultation. Also, go to the website for free reports. We have a brand new report we've been talking about for weeks. It's on there and it's available now. Resolving Tax Problems, the Real Solutions, written by Jenny Lingl and myself. Also, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formation, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, and Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Samasco. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law, Silverstein Law. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, we're back. You know, one interesting thing with credit card companies, and I want to talk to the solutions, is Capital One, Discover, which are the credit cards that are attaching to the lower valued user from the standpoint of credit cards. They are all starting to trim credit lines.
Why is that?
They're worried about recession.
Really?
When the recession comes, let's say you've got a credit card to Discover with a 10,000 line and you haven't used it in a year. They're sending letters out to people saying either use that card or we're going to cancel the line, because they know when the economy falls apart, people are going to then go to their drawer to use the cards that they haven't used, and then they're worried they're not going to get paid. Well, you're going to see a reaction in the credit card industry when the economy falls 10 times faster and more aggressive than we saw in the recession.
They saw what happened back in 08, and then they're
ready for it, and there's no one who's going to punish them because the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has been rendered
just like
moot.
GM is changing their ways right now. They're seeing stuff coming apparently.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Lot to have. All right, so back to our psychology of debt. The end game in the article says if I can get rid of the debt, I feel relief, freedom, and accomplishment. How do I get there, Brian? Now, it's easy to say it, but how do you get there?
All right, so basically you've got 3 different roads you can go down when you're trying to get rid of debt. You can look at straightforward bankruptcy and Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which are a very effective tool to get rid of debt. It's one and done, or it's reorganization, pay back what you can afford, stop the interest from accruing, don't necessarily pay back the whole amount of the debt, pay as little as 0 cents on the dollar through Chapter 13. So it just depends which bankruptcy is right for you. If bankruptcy isn't right for you, we're going to look at debt resolution. Can we settle your debts for pennies on the dollar, giving you an opportunity to get out of debt, stop the bleeding, and again, relieve you of that debt and get rid of the anxiety, the stress, the fear, all the issues that come up psychologically that impact your ability to make rational, solid decisions when dealing with money. The third way, I would say, is addressing it through budget management. Figuring out what your actual means are. What does it take to keep the roof over your head? What does it take to keep food on the table and allow you to have some...
So that's trimming your expenses too.
Yeah, trimming your expenses.
Pay off the cards.
Yeah, and if you can find, because all those credit cards will show you that there's a methodology to get out of debt within 3 years if you stop using the card and you pay this amount of money. So there's a 3-year plan, there's a instant plan, there's a 3 to 5 year plan through Chapter 13. The key is, and to get that psychological relief that they're talking about in the article, the key is to do something, because then you have a goal that you've established, and when you have a goal and you achieve it, the relief comes.
Worrying about it, it makes it worse. Worrying about it and you just have to do something.
That's true about anything.
Absolutely.
Just worrying about it never solves the problem.
Right.
You got to so taking action though is, it's not, I don't think you need to figure out, if you're watching the show, what your solution is. You need to investigate what your options are. Go to one of our seminars, come in for a free consult. The point is, whether bankruptcy or debt resolution outside of bankruptcy or budget management is the right solution, that depends on your circumstance.
And there are other.
If you're making $60,000 a year, you have no equity in your home, and you have $100,000 of credit card debt.
Bankruptcy is probably a perfect solution.
Yes, debt resolution isn't where you want to do.
How many people come in and say, "Can I put your retainer on the credit card because I want the points?" Everyone says that.
But you have to use the points before you stop paying, because as soon as you miss a payment, they take your points away.
Oh, they take your points back.
And you can't then file a bankruptcy. No, because that would be fraudulent.
Right.
But the point is, you really need to investigate your options. That's it. First, you recognize that it's a problem. It's not going to go away unless you do something. Step one, make it an easy step. You don't have to solve the problem today, but you have to commit to the idea of finding the solution. And the solution should be, it's not as much getting out of debt as protect your future. If you have this cash flow, you want it going to savings. You don't want it going to interest for the rest of your life. That's where America is leaving themselves in debt. Our government does it by deficit spending, but they can print money. We can't. We need to provide for our own savings. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality. Thanks for watching.